Impressive that you made it back, Dedu. It was you who saved His Highness from prison. We, all of us, thought you were dead.
My wounds were severe, but I managed. So long as I draw breath, I fight for His Highness.
Is that so?
But in my absence, you have protected him. Thank you, Gilbert, for returning to us.
Stop. I left once. I have wondered if I will be forced to leave once more after this battle is done.
Would you accept that? I imagine not.
Of course not.
You are still Gustav at heart, even now. I am not fit to replace you. Not yet. I still have a great deal more to learn. For now, all I can do is continue to be a shield for His Highness.
It is unlike you to be so talkative.
I could not be silent.
So long as you understand, I will leave the kingdom someday. It may not be until the day I die, but the time will come. This war, I'm a much older man than I was when it began. Sooner or later, someone must take my place. Do not try to carry the weight alone, Dedu. There are many talented and well-trained officers. Work together with them to assure our king's future. Do that, and when the time comes, I will rest well.
Thank you for the advice. However...
Yes?
It is too soon to treat you like an old man. You still have at least 10 years of service in you. Fargus, no. His Highness needs you. As do I. Save the old man talk for when you are truly senile.
A fair point. There's no reason to let old age make one timid.
Even as I work to surpass you, I still rely on you.
Is that so? Well then, we have more fighting ahead of us to do. We should get to it. For the future of Fargus.
Ah, yes! These are the moments I live for!
I don't understand you.
You again? Can't you see I'm busy?
Trust me, I didn't mean to interrupt.
So how did you like the cake? I bet you ate it, didn't you? I knew it was irresistible. What was the experience like? I'm curious, from a research perspective.
I don't know, I didn't eat it. I gave it to some kid.
You gave it to some undeserving child?
We've been over this. I don't like sweets.
Cake is not a sweet. Cake is the divine essence of the heavens!
Everyone has their own tastes.
That's true, but life without cake is no life at all. Your dismissiveness regarding cake is inexcusable.
I'm not sure why you're so fixated on this.
I simply can't resist the spongy magnificence of cakes. I don't understand how you can be so dispassionate about it.
I don't know, I just don't like it.
Just try a bite. Come on, open up.
No, I already told you I don't want it.
But I made this one, with care and attention, love even. And I went light on the sugar, just for you.
Not light enough, I'd bet. If I eat this, will you stop bothering me?
More or less. Just don't give it to some silly child this time.
Let's get this over with.
Oh, you're still here? Lysithia, hi. Did you forget something? I did. What are you reading?
Just something I found. Though there are things in here I don't quite get.
Is that the Compendium of Light and Dark?
It is! Amazing how you could tell that just from a glance at the cover.
I've read it so many times, I have nearly the entire thing memorized. That said, it does seem to take liberties with some topics, so be aware of that while you're reading it.
Wait, really? Yikes. Thanks for the warning.
You've got quite the stack of books here for only wanting to brush up on one thing. I knew you were a hard worker, Annette.
No, not as much as some people. Sorry. There I go again.
It's all right. In getting to know you, I've taken some time to self-reflect. I used to think that I worked harder than anyone. But I'm not so sure anymore. I have to work even harder to keep pace with you.
Oh no! But then I'll have to work extra hard to keep up with you!
Well, if you work extra hard, I'll need to work super duper extra hard.
Oh, come on! Fine. Super duper quadruple extra hard it is.
Okay, that's enough. We could do this forever, but we've got better things to do.
Sorry. It's fun to see you get carried away like that, though.
I'm glad we had this chat. I feel excited to continue working super duper extra hard now. I'm lucky to have someone like you around to inspire me.
I feel the same. I'll do my best to keep pace with you.
Why are you smiling?
Oh, it's nothing. I was just thinking about how nice it is that we can motivate each other like this.
It is nice, isn't it? But I still intend to surpass you.
Nuh-uh, I'm gonna surpass you. But before that, could you explain this part of the book to me?
I'm not quite sure how someone of your caliber is struggling with this one, but let me break it down for you.
Hello, Father. May I have a moment?
Of course.
I read all your letters. You never stopped writing them, did you? My birthday, Mother's birthday, every possible occasion, without fail.
Yes.
So why didn't you send any of them? If you had sent even one, we would have...
Each time I thought to send one, I could not do so. Such behavior belittled my penance. Time passed, and with it my feelings of guilt toward you and your mother grew. Even though I wrote the letters, I could not send them.
I would always talk about it with Mother. If only he'd write us at least once, we'd say. We waited and waited. All those long years.
I am sorry.
I'm tired of hearing it, so just stop. Your apologies change nothing. Send those letters to Mother. She'll be happy to hear from you.
I cannot.
In that case, why don't I send them?
I have given them to you. They are yours to do with as you wish.
All right then. I'll send them. You don't get to take it back afterwards. Father, you should know that they made me happy.
Happy?
Knowing that you were thinking of us all along. We were worried about you, Mother and I. Neither of us ever came out and said it, but we thought maybe you hated us. Were trying to forget all about us.
Never. I swear it on His late Majesty and on my homeland.
I see. All right. Then swear. Swear that someday, when this war is over, you'll come back to us.
I hear you, Annette. I will return without fail.
No matter what. That's a promise you just made. If you break it, I'll never speak to you again.
Yes, I promise.
Great. Now I'm positively elated. I can't wait until we're all a family again.
I look forward to it, Annette. More than anything.
What is the matter? Is something weighing on your mind again? It is freezing out here. You should be bundled up in your warm bed.
Listen, Dimitri. The truth is, I am afraid of sleeping.
Afraid of it? Why?
I am afraid that when I close my eyes, I shall fall into a very deep sleep. One from which I cannot wake up. For years upon years. Then, when I finally awaken, everyone I know and love will be long gone. Vanished with the sands of time. I am sure it seems silly. But try as I might, I cannot shake this fear.
I cannot quite grasp what you are describing. But I can promise you one thing. No matter how many years go by, I will always remember you.
I appreciate the sentiment. Even so, one day...
Listen carefully, Flane. There is something I have been wanting to tell you.
Oh? What is that?
You know that dish you made the other day? It was so sweet, it made my tongue go numb.
I am not so sure that is a good thing.
Well, I could only really taste the first bite, so I may have been imagining it. But still, I was so happy. That moment will always put a smile on my face whenever I remember it. I could never forget you, Flane. I promise. Besides, we have fought side by side. We are friends. I am sure all of the others would say the same. Is something the matter?
You really do not pick up on subtle cues, do you?
Cues?
Well, it is all a part of your charm, I suppose. With you here, I finally feel I can sleep without having to worry at all.
Hey, wait! I did not mean for you to fall asleep right here.
Someday you appreciate food.
Flane... she is hopeless.
What's with the confusion?
I like...
I appreciate any good meal, but nothing...
That...
This is...
This...
Somehow,
Simple.
yeah.
That.
It is not guaranteed to be good, even if everyone sings earnestly. It is not easy after all.
Singing in tune with others proved quite difficult.
Stan, how it is my hope.
Professor.
Fighting enemies.
If only I...
There is... This... That...
No.
How ba- That...
Seems simple. Thanks.
Ah, it feels good to sing nicer.
Regardless of the quality.
You must be tired from doing all these chores. I would not mind taking care of them by myself.
Nonsense. What knight would dare allow his master to work for him?
I suppose you have a point. Then we will just have to take care of it together.
We prove to be an excellent team, Your Highness.
I agree. We understand each
Interesting.
Looks like I'm...
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Despite their victory at the Battle of Gronder, the Kingdom Army turns around and marches for Ferdiad instead of heading south. To hail the arrival of the Kingdom Army, the people of Ferdiad begin to rebel. No move is made to suppress them. Instead, Cornelia directs her borrowed Imperial troops to prevent Dimitri from reaching the Kingdom capital.
Ferdiad. It has been a lifetime since I was here last. 5 years ago, in fact. On the day before my execution, when Dedu helped me escape from prison. I killed soldiers from my homeland, stole weapons from their corpses, and made my escape soaked in their blood. To think, this is how I would return to the city of my birth, after all that has happened. Yes. Rodrigue gave his life to show me the way back to this path. You have risked much as well. I am glad to have you at my side. From the bottom of my heart, I am forever grateful. Let's win this, Professor. Let's all make it out alive and celebrate our victory.
Your Highness, the path to the castle has been cleared. We are making preparations to advance. Say the word, and we march.
Yes. Let us begin. Everyone, listen well. This battle is for all that the Empire stole from us. It is a fight to reclaim the days of peace we once enjoyed. I give you but 2 commands. Stay alive. The gates to the kingdom capital are open. Join me. It is time to take back our home.
I thought I would see you again, little princeling. So stubborn. It must run in your family.
Cornelia, the city is overrun with insurrection. It seems to be in response to our enemy's arrival. If we do nothing, our army may suffer damages. We should suppress the citizens immediately.
The people are rebelling? Let them do as they please. Or are you saying you have enough soldiers to divide our forces? Quite bold of you, with our enemy's most elite soldiers at our...
But what are you suggesting?
The city is going to be a battlefield anyway. Kill all who oppose us, even if they are members of the general populace. Go on now. You are needed out there.
As you wish. May we find fortune in the battle to come.
What an inconvenience the little princeling has turned out to be. And bringing that troublesome person along with him. It would have been much better if he and his sweet little stepsister had been good little children and just killed each other. The preparations are all in place. Time to meet my old master. Ready the Titaness in the streets. Let's give them a welcome to remember.
capital! I will not lose. I swear it by the blood in my veins.
What's the plan?
Ready when you are.
I'll cut through.
Leave it to me.
What's my strategy?
I am prepared.
At your service.
I'd be honored.
I'm your girl.
I am prepared.
I'd be honored.
I'm your girl.
At your service.
Ha! Wow, thanks. It had to be done. Onward.
Let's make this quick.
Ready for anything.
All is for victory!
I will see this war through.
It's done.
I will not back down one step!
No time for pity. A boon for our future.
Proceed carefully.
must steel myself.
Ready when you are. Next try. Prepare yourself. I shall not stray.
What's the plan? All for our future.
I'll cut through. It was meant to be.
Luck wasn't with you.
Thanks so much.
Leave it to me.
What's my strategy?
In the name of justice!
These things are surprisingly
If there is magic in use, we should find...
Weren't the Titaness enough for you? Well then, we had better activate the Viscum.
saw coming.
I need to slow down.
charming guest.
You're a big help.
Let's see you dodge this!
Maybe.
Here is something to believe in!
I was just stronger. That took...
You fought well.
Let's make this quick.
Well, so be it. Still, I'll give you a little gift.
It's over, Cornelia. If you have any last words...
Right you are. Very well. I have an old... about something that happened 10 years ago. Something Patricia said about how she wished to see her real daughter again, no matter who or what she had to sacrifice to do so. And about how I made her wish come true, at the cost of the king's head.
The king's head? You mean to say that my father, everyone, was killed by my stepmother?
That's right. Her family meant everything to her. You certainly know that feeling, do you not? Oh, poor little prince. Unloved by the only mother he ever knew. How pitiful.
How dare you!
There's nothing left for you now.
Try as that woman might to spout nonsense to her very last, nothing could change the fact that she was an enemy of the kingdom. She sold out Fargus to the Empire, forcing our people to suffer their tyranny. But all that ends today. No more blood will be needlessly spilled. Now that Cornelia has fallen, we will exert pressure on the nobles who were aligned with her. Perhaps we may yet find a connection to the tragic incident in Dusker. Once we do that, we will finally be able to prove the innocence of its people.
Your Highness, I am certain that would make those of Dusker who lost their lives that day very happy. I am grateful, and I am proud to serve a man such as you.
Come, Your Highness. You still have some responsibilities that must be carried out. Your people have been patiently awaiting your return.
Do you mean... No. I can't bear to face them after all that I... Professor. Right you are, as ever. I am their king, after all. What is this?
As you can see, the people are rejoicing at the return of their king.
Even though I turned my back on them and fled the kingdom in disgrace.
Even so, The spectacle before you does not lie. We are a kingdom in need of a king, a hero to save the people from their long oppression. Your Highness, it is truly a blessing that you have returned.
Do I really have the right to stand here? Will they accept me as their king? Bloodstained as I am I fit to be king? Yes, you are right again, my friend. I am finally home again, Fargus. How I missed you. It may be spring, but the nights are quite chilly here in Ferdiad. Still, our celebratory feast shows no sign of stopping. Have you... It's not that I have grown weary. More that I find it difficult to be around everyone at the moment. I have just returned from visiting the graves of my loved ones. It had been a long while since I left Flowers. I was always terribly afraid of going near there, but I could not stay away forever. You have taught me something important, Professor. That too, of course. But what I'm referring to is far more valuable. How should I put this? Perhaps it is most accurate to say that you taught me how to live. If you and I had not reunited on that fateful day, I am certain I would have died a fruitless death on the battlefield. I would have foolishly challenged a horde of foes, and in doing so, needlessly sacrificed the lives of my friends and myself. But now I have returned to my rightful place. I struggle with what to say when I know well that words are not enough to express my gratitude. You saved me from the darkness and guided me back to the light. Thank you, Professor. With all that I am, I thank you. Revenge was never something I wished for. It was an obligation I felt I had inherited from those who died. I believed my life belonged to those who lost their own in Dusker. But what I now seek is something else entirely. I can say that with confidence. But I digress. For tonight, our only focus should be to bask in our victory. After that, we must prepare for our battle with the Empire. To start, we must absorb the Kingdom Knights taken by the Dukedom into our own forces and reshuffle our troops. The Lords will need to help purge our territory of Imperial forces, and I will use my authority as king to gather forces from various regions. And we'll have to ask the merchants to lend us the funds we require. Oh, and we must request delivery of supplies at once. I cannot handle all this work by myself, you know. I will be counting on you, Professor. There is much to do, but it is all critical work if we hope to stand a chance against the Empire. Yes, I am well aware. I believe we have spoken of this before. Everyone has something they... As for Edelgard, I am certain she will never be able to accept the Church of Seros. I believe that is why she seeks to destroy it. She is looking to revolutionize the world, in her mind, for the better. But even if she manages to birth a new world, it would be at the cost of... I wish to end this war through acceptance, not annihilation. Just as my people accepted me, I wish dearly to accept her. But I fear...
Your Highness, I finally found you.
I'm sorry for slipping away. Has something happened?
An express messenger just arrived from the leader of the Alliance. Please, return to the castle at once.
An express messenger? What in the world could Claude be after? I am on my way. Professor, please join...
Part 2. Azure Moon. Garland Moon. The Golden Deer's Plea. The Kingdom Army has reclaimed the Kingdom capital and plans to immediately begin restoring the country and its forces. But an unexpected request arrives from Claude, leader of the Leicester Alliance. Dimitri promptly responds to the request for aid, and he rushes to prepare the kingdom's forces.
We have received a request for aid from the Alliance. They are being invaded by the Empire. We have only just taken back Ferdiad, and yet I am already asking all of you to move out once more. Please accept my apologies for that.
That's no problem at all. More importantly, how is the Alliance faring?
House Regan has rallied the Alliance Lords. They are facing the enemy with all the strength they can muster. We do not know how far that will get them. It seems the enemy's relentless attacks have forced them into a tough situation. Their defeat at Gronder severely weakened the Alliance. I imagine the Empire now intends to destroy them before they can recover.
To think they'd watch us chase their soldiers out of the Kingdom capital, then immediately go invade the Alliance. Their general is Lord Volkard von Arundel. He serves as regent to the Emperor. He has presumably taken command after the Emperor was wounded in Gronder.
He is known for his shrewdness and excels not only in domestic affairs, but tactics as well. He is not an opponent we should take lightly. Lord Arundel. I always suspected that Lord Arundel was behind the tragedy 9 years ago. The timing of his departure from the kingdom, the fact that he abruptly stopped making donations. Too many factors made him suspect. If Lord Arundel conspired with Cornelia, then what Kronya and the others said 5 years ago? Well, never mind that for now. The Alliance needs our help. What are your thoughts?
If we turn our back on the Alliance and then Deirdre falls, it will undoubtedly make our situation difficult further down the road. We would have enemies in two directions, in the Alliance to the northeast, and in the Empire to the south.
That is true. In that scenario, we would not be able to safely march our soldiers to Enbar.
I am terribly worried about Lady Rhea, but I believe we must save the Alliance first.
Oh, maybe if we do this, the Alliance will help us out in return. We could ask them to help us attack the Empire. You know, a sneak attack or something.
Annie, when did you become so devious?
What would your mother think?
What? It wasn't that devious.
What do you think, Professor?
We must go to Deirdre. I will admit that there is something to be gained for us as well, for when we eventually march south. But far more importantly, they need us. We cannot turn our backs on them. We will arrange to head out at once. Prepare yourselves, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Your Highness, it falls to me once more to instruct you in the ways of battle. It does not befit a leader to fight on the front lines. I would ask that you refrain from such conduct in the future.
I've not had to weather your lectures in many a year, and here I thought you were avoiding me.
That is a separate matter. You have a duty to consider the value of your own life.
Your words ring true, of course. I admit, I was a bit careless out there. However, I have always been a man who is good for nothing but war. To best support our cause, I must carve a path through the battlefield with my own hands. I truly believe that will lead us to victory. Why the dark expression, Gustav? Do my words trouble you so?
You remind me of your father. His Majesty once said the same thing more than a decade ago, during the Northern Campaign. In you, I see his manner and I hear his words. You grow more like him with each day's passing. And in you, I am reminded of my failure and my duty to him.
I do not wish to speak of that matter. As I said before, I feel no resentment toward you.
Even so, you have changed since that fateful day, Your Highness. Perhaps too much. I worry that in your pain, you have locked away your true feelings. Your passion is dulled, and your vigor faded.
You want to hear my true feelings, Gustav? Then let me ask you this. Why did you save my life that day? Why did you not allow me to die along with the others? If you truly wish to atone for your sins, then take my life, here and now!
You would ask me to perform the unthinkable. You are the future of Fargus. Your kingdom needs you alive. That I was able to save you is my only sense of salvation. Your Highness, I repeat myself. Consider the value of your own life. If you continue risking all, be it on the battlefield or by issuing mad orders such as this, I will be forced to save you from yourself.
I see. So, you will continue to protect and serve me, will you? In that case, when I assume the throne, I will order you to work for me in the kingdom.
Your Highness, no, please.
My father would be happy to see such a day. Perhaps I will ask you to instruct me further in the ways of battle, when that time comes.
If I wish to atone for my sins, I must take your life? Deception has never been your strong suit, Dimitri. Or do you think I cannot see? You must know I would take my own life before I let anyone harm you.
I have been wondering something. If I had not been your student, where would I be right now? Who would I... Do you ever think about that sort of thing, Professor? So you do think about such questions. You can never find answers, though, right? We cannot turn back time, so there is no way to go back and try a different path.
The very same night we liberated the capital, a messenger arrived from Deirdre. Claude must have predicted that we'd retake it. Claude's a hard person to read. It's obvious not much escapes his eye, though. Kind of unsettling, honestly.
Let's see.
Right.
So war finally comes to the Alliance territories. I don't mean that there's never been fighting on Alliance soil, of course. There have been countless skirmishes between neighboring lords, as well as but this is an invasion by an army of the Empire. It's a whole different animal. I don't want to see my family get dragged into this.
Which one was he again? Oh, right. Yeah, of course I remember him. It's just, I can't picture his face. Don't remember what he looks like. I'm not sure if I ever knew. Whoa. Maybe. No. How is this? I am being told you can see the sea from Deirdre. Not just see, that it is right there in front of you.
In Brigid, the sea has great closeness. I would be looking at it every day. But in Garreg Mach, we cannot look at the sea. So I am feeling drawn to Deirdre. Yes, I think the sea has much beauty, but can also be...
Professor? Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. Deirdre is known as the aquatic capital. It's a beautiful town with streets that seem to float on the water and an impressive harbor. In times of peace, it would be a wonderful place for a holiday.
What? We took Ferdiad back, but I never found the time to go shopping there. When the war's over and the city is revitalized, will you come with me, Professor? Really? Oh, I'm so glad. Although, I suppose we have bigger things on our plate, like Claude. He's in big trouble. I bet my family is too. We have to help them, Professor. I know we can't lose with you on our...
Hey! We can't actually join you on the battlefield, but rest assured that we're there in spirit. We're doing everything we can to support the army, so give it your all out there.
That reminds me.
Professor? Hey.
Oh, we're gonna go help Claude? I haven't seen him in forever. Wonder how he's been. I chose this side because I believe in you, Professor. But it's not like I got anything against Claude. Of course! Claude was the kind of person who would be instantly friends with anyone. I got no clue what'll happen to the Alliance, but I sure hope Claude doesn't die.
Professor! It'll take a little while yet for the capital to be restored to its former glory. But it's not dead yet. Doesn't matter how many times you put the people of Ferdiad down. Just you watch. Before long, things will be back to how they were.
Reminds me. Claude, eh? He always was sharp among his peers. Never let himself get caught up in conventions. He wasn't typical in Fodlan. I'd like to save him if we can. I know. And I'm sure he's already calculated exactly when that will be. Claude, eh? He always was sharp among his peers. Never let himself get... Claude, never let himself... That's not mine.
That reminds me, a hungry hero is no better than a well-fed soldier. Do you know that saying? No? That's because I just made it up. If you're hungry, you're never going to be at full strength. Keep your belly full and stay strong.
Deirdre, huh? I've always wanted to go there. In Fargus, most of the towns are pretty much glorified fortresses. So, to hear about a place called the Aquatic Capital, it just sounds so elegant. When the war's over, I hope I can visit with everyone there.
I went to visit my adoptive father at his home in the capital. He used to grovel at Cornelia's feet when the city was under her control. But after it was liberated, he started courting the kingdom instead. I suppose he was just doing what he needed to survive. No matter what becomes of the world, it'll always be plagued by people like him.
Let's see. It was over 20 years ago. There was an illness raging across Ferdiad. Our people were dying left and right. It was Cornelia who saved the kingdom from that dreadful illness. No, I hear she was originally an imperial scholar. She was in the king. People praised Cornelia as a saint for ending the epidemic. But there came a day when she completely changed. Her behavior, despite all that, Father still appointed her to a high post. After all, she had saved the kingdom from ruin by that. But above all, my stepmother trusted her. That's why...
Lord Rodrigue Fraldarius has passed on. Margrave Gautier has assumed his position and is now gathering the lords of the Eastern Territories. House Gautier is equal in prestige to House. These lords are reorganizing the Fargus army and eradicating any remaining factions that claim. Of course, His Highness is being kept apprised with regular reports, but it falls to me to monitor him and ensure he does not try. I would ask you to do the same. If you take your eyes off that man, even for a moment.
Hey,
Deirdre, the aquatic capital. I've heard it's a magnificent city, you know? If we're going, I wish it wasn't to wage war. It'd be more fun to visit with a cute girl on my arm. You're right. That's something to look forward to.
Professor?
Oh. Oh, the Alliance leader is too demanding and the prince is too soft-hearted. They spilled much of each other's blood at Gronder. I lost a lot. Sorry, I shouldn't complain. I know this is tactically sound. Everyone seems on board with it, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't.
If you travel east from the Alliance and cross Fodlan's Throat, you enter the land of House Goneril's territory touches the eastern border of the Alliance. They also have Lord Holst, tasked with keeping watch over the Almyrans' movement.
I'm glad Dimitri and Claude don't have to fight one another. I am the daughter of an Alliance lord, though, so I suppose that goes without saying. Having to fight with your former classmates is just so terribly sad.
Didn't they used to call Claude the Master Tactician? I want a nickname too. Maybe I'll get one if I can rescue him at Deirdre. I'll come up with a plan that's even better than his and earn a nickname for sure.
this doesn't end with liberating the kingdom capital. Deirdre is next. That prince really works his people hard, doesn't he? Or should I be calling him a king now? Whatever the title is, he'll always be Dimitri to me.
Maybe.
Well...
I think I was getting excited for our big Empire showdown. I spent so much time mentally preparing. Then we shifted focus to Deirdre. I hadn't been expecting that. But, as a knight who's sworn to serve the goddess, I cannot turn a blind ear to those...
We're still searching for Lady Rhea. No news on that, I'm afraid. Lord Arundel, the Emperor's uncle, is the regent of the Empire. If we crush them at Deirdre, maybe we'll capture him and wring some clues out of him.
You know... Hey, you. Please?
What?
Incredible. Dimitri is going to Claude's aid. How great is that? It's like we've gone back to how things were 5 years ago. It's so nice. Just imagine if 80 was there too. I suppose you can't ever really go back to the way things were in the past.
Pardon me. So, I heard that Deirdre was under attack. I wish...
Hello there!
Singing is so much...
Professor!
Traveling to the Empire, to the Kingdom, and then off to Alliance territory? Everyone certainly is busy. Perhaps it's not a bad thing now that I think about it. If we were only busy, but if I now...
Even if we do enter Alliance territory, we're not gonna find Lady Rhea there. I wish we could leave Claude be and go attack the Empire. I suppose if we can't beat the Empire forces here, then we can't get into the Empire lands, can we? I guess that just means it's hard work time, huh, Professor?
Cornelia Arnhem. That's a familiar name, yes. She once studied in the Empire. My understanding is, shortly after I left the Empire, she did as well. Unlike myself, Cornelia traveled to the Kingdom. Apparently, she halted a plague and was rewarded with a quite powerful appointment. That such an outstanding researcher should fall to such depravity. Sickening, Professor, and quite sad.
thought there was a chance that Cornelia had captured Lady Rhea, but it seems that is not the case. Our next foe, Lord Arundel, was once a pious adherent to the Seros Creed. His contributions to the church stopped quite abruptly some time ago. I think it is likely the man knows something.
You plan to aid Claude, do you not? Huh, I think that is absolutely marvelous. Being opposing forces at the Battle of Gronder was... It hurt to side against him. I am happy that they...
With the capital recaptured, he would refuse my desire, rightfully pointing out, however, the day this war, then he will truly be... I must go hear the reports from our spies. I shall tell you more when our information... I have a request. Thank you very much.
What do you think?
What do you think? Remember... Well, it turns out he's a general in the Imperial Army. But it looks like he's not at Deirdre. Like every man in my life, he's run away from me. And he better run. One day I'm gonna find that guy and pay him back.
Well, what do you think?
Speaking of which...
Hello there! Using the Great Bridge of Myrden as a base, we'll spread out and cover as much ground as possible in our search for Her Grace. Judging by the information we've gathered, the most suspicious location is definitely the the Hrim territory, whose leader is a mere puppet. The Empire has a lot of places with suspicious happenings, but it won't do to take too much time in relieving the Alliance army. Please, hurry.
The pro-imperialist lords who have let the Empire in have their hands tied. Houses Ordelia and Gloucester are exposed and likely caught off guard. That must mean that Claude's allies are... Margrave Edmund does not commit troops as easily as he commit whatever the situation. I don't know how long the alliance...
So House Regan has regained its influence in the Alliance, and is gathering forces. Claude always was somewhat inscrutable. It's strange somehow to hear talk of his brilliance as the leader of the Alliance.
My uncle gave me some of my father's belongings. Weapons, books. But there was something else that my old man really wanted to pass down. He wanted me to inherit his mission, ensuring that Dimitri ascends the throne. Or so I believe.
This is...
Oh, this looks...
After the fighting's done, we should all go on a gourmet's journey around the world. What say you?
That sounds like fun.
What do you think, Professor? Up for a culinary adventure?
Luck wasn't with you.
All in his service!
Had to be done. More proof of my loyalty. I'll cut a path for His Highness.
I will break!
More proof of my loyalty.
What do you think?
Professor. Speaking of which...
Cornelia, Maya, unlike a parrot that such...
Have you travel? Everyone's...
In Fargo. So, when the war's...
This experience is...
No matter what...
Right.
What the?
What a Deirdre.
This... The skill will... This... This... That...
No. I...
This... What? Still... What?
I got a question. You're probably...
Professor.
You must be taught.
No. We prove to be...
I agree. The
Let's put this to the...
Guess I need to know.
Guess I'll... Perfect comprehension. I have succeeded!
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You may leave now. Not really. There is just a problem I must now clean up. Do you know of Aryan Road? It is a fortress that also goes by the name of the Silver Maiden. Yes, I had thought I might have mentioned it before. It is a fortress city that is lauded as the strongest in the kingdom. The land around Aryan Road was once entrusted to Count Rowe. When he turned to the Empire, the Silver Maiden went with him. Now, one after another, the lords of each region are leaving the Empire at the call of the Eastern Lords. But I am sure the Empire has no plans to relinquish the fortress city, given its strategic position on the front lines of their war with the Kingdom. Unless we can take back Aryan Road, the Kingdom will continually be attacked at its weakest points. I was thinking that we need to deal with it soon, and that we need to investigate the status of the enemy's force, but... I'm afraid so. We confirmed that troops departed the Imperial capital, headed for Aryan Road. If they are followed by a second and third batch of reinforcements, then the difficulty of taking back Aryan Road will increase exponentially. But that does not mean we are entirely without recourse. I am just at a loss as to when the soldiers will arrive. way. You never cease to amaze. Your answers always bring me joy. Okay, let's gather everyone immediately. We'll begin the war council for the departing troops.
Seems we are just in time. Any later and Aryan Road may have been lost. Her Majesty was right to send me here.
Hubert. So, you have come here in command of extra troops from the Imperial capital. I had hoped to take the fort while it was poorly defended. But now, well, there is nothing to be done. Traps have been set throughout Aryan Road to repel it. If I remember correctly, there should be devices somewhere that let you deactivate. Aryan Road has been in Imperial hands for a while now, but there's no point in dawdling. Let's just make a point to disable any device.
What's the plan? You knew the odds.
I am prepared.
I will break all in his service!
Had to be done.
Knew you could do it.
I'll cut through.
Leave it to me.
At your service.
wasn't in vain.
I'd be honored.
What's my strategy?
You haven't earned my pity.
Ready for anything.
Let's make this quick.
Ready when you are. I'm your girl.
Surprise reinforcements.
Weak.
Saw it come.
Child's play.
It was meant to be.
It was the only way. I'll keep...
Pointless. Let's see you dodge this. Hate me if you must.
I won't falter.
No luck, buddy. All the city's defenses are
So, the system had...
I'll cut a path for His Highness. I wield this power for His... All for our future.
done.
Be careful.
Allow me to demonstrate!
This could turn the tides. I can always depend on you. I'll cut through.
Don't be careless.
Still here. Be careful.
That should take care of it.
I've got no time for mercy.
Don't underestimate me.
Next try. I aim for greatness. Hopefully.
Leave it to me.
suppose you thought defeating the troops outside the castle not such a bad idea, honestly.
I must lead them well.
Aryan Road is a crucial asset to the Empire. You will not pry it from our grasp. That's as far as I go.
Lord Hubert was defeated? Retreat! Sound the retreat!
The Empire troops are withdrawing. This is it. We failed to get Hubert, but at least we have recaptured Aryan Road. Let's clean up the wreckage and return to Garrick. Well done, everyone. The day is ours.
Thank you so much.
Oh, it's you. I think all of this work is just catching up with me. Just pretend that yawn never happened. By the way, I wanted to thank you for your help with the Aryan Road campaign the other day. You were exceptional. Your leadership was key in taking back Aryan Road safely. Do not be so modest. It seems that after taking back Aryan Road, many things are changing within the kingdom. Specifically, the lesser lords of the lands surrounding Aryan Road have pledged vassalage to the kingdom. The knights they possess may now be added to the kingdom's army. And if that happens, I would like to leave them in your capable hands. Also, my apologies. Here I am, simply throwing one report after another at you. Perhaps. It is certainly true that I have been stuck in my quarters lately, dealing with more official business and other such tasks than ever before. But that is something I have been putting off for far too long. Though it is exhausting, Filling in the blanks of 5 years and several months must be done. I am going to tackle them all, one at a time. That is one small part of my atonement. So, Professor, I have been doing all of the talking, but I assume you came here for a reason. Steal me away? That seems rather unnecessary. A victory celebration, you say? You know, this reminds me of that time I dragged you to the dining hall. Do you recall? If memory serves, that was after the mock battle between the houses. We had just finished our mission, and we were invited to join in the celebration. You know, every once in a while, I do long to be part of the group as well. But do you think that it is really acceptable for someone like me to quietly join in the merriment? You really think so? Well, if you insist. Thank you, Professor. Now then, let's go. Together.
I'd be honored.
Leave it to me. It is done.
Ready for anything.
I'm your girl.
What's the plan?
At your service.
It's my duty.
All for our future.
ready when you are.
I'll cut through.
I am prepared.
What's my strategy?
Obvious. Good work.
I won't stop here. It is done. On to the next battle. Let's see you dodge this! It is done. I won't be deterred! Hate me if you must. Only...
I'm still here. I'll keep...
Just like that.
I will break your...
Had to be done.
I'm impressed. There's no turning back now.
Thanks so much. I must steel myself.
This is the cost of war.
I can do no less. I aim for greatness. next?
Wait.
This
Always depend on you.
Thank you so much.
I have gratitude. Thanks so much. I am grateful. Well, is that the one? Thanks a bunch. Is that thanks a bunch? 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 Come back.
ready for anything.
I'd be honored.
Leave it to me.
I won't be deterred!
I won't stop here.
What's my strategy?
Here is something to believe in!
I must lead them well.
I expect no less.
I'll cut through. You haven't earned my pity.
Ready when you are. I aim for greatness.
I'm your girl.
What's the plan? I am prepared.
I'm nobody's fool.
I'm well met.
At your service. This is...
It's over. It won't be in vain.
Too slow. I'll end this quickly! I shall not stray. I'm sorry.
I'm
Burn until we meet again.
On my honor!
Hate me if you must.
Keep it up.
My duty is your death.
This could turn the tides.
I won't falter.
I'm counting on you.
I'll use this.
Professor,
We proved to be an...
Of course.
I'm getting the hang.
Maybe. Okay. Whoa.
That looks appetizing.
I appreciate any good meal, but nothing.
This look. Yeah.
Sitting. I know.
Delicious.
My brother used to scold me for being too picky.
I never thought I would be able to enjoy a meal with my friends again.
No one is to blame. But yes, we should eat together more often.
Eating delicious.
When it comes to food,
I'll cut a path for His Highness. Had to be done. I'll cut a path for His Highness. Luck wasn't with you. I'll cut a path for His Highness.
Singing it.
Demetri. It's like just a, I suppose.
What do you think?
What do you think? Remember? Well, but, and he bet.
There must.
Still. What?
All that work. I have no. That look. Ah. I.
Professor.
We proved to be an...
I agree.
Now to keep
I still have...
I suppose.
What brings you here at this hour, and with sword in hand, no less? Hardly the appropriate attire for prayer.
I am not here to pray to the goddess. I am here to atone for my sins.
I see.
You are your father's reflection. He was never skilled at deception either. Your demand that I take your life was sincere, no matter how you might pretend otherwise.
How astute of you. So, you think you can see right through me, do you?
I watched over you from the day you were born. And that is why it pains me so to do this. It is like taking the life of my own son.
I am sorry to burden you with this, but you have my gratitude. Now, make it quick.
Yes.
You really are a cruel man.
You believe death will bring an end to your torment? That is nothing but an act of cowardice. No matter how difficult, no matter how painful, your duty to your people is to continue fighting.
Even if those who have died The many whose lives I have taken would rather see me dead.
Many pray for your death. However, there are far more who need you here, alive. In Fargus, in the monastery, in this army, and here, standing before you, to serve you, to bear your torment alongside you. That, Your Highness, is my atonement.
Look at my hands.
They are shaking.
When I saw your sword swing before my eyes, for the first time, I did not wish to die. Many times I have felt that I cannot afford to die. But this was the first time I truly feared the prospect. Tell me, Gustav, is it really right for me to live?
It is, Your Highness. It truly is.
Thank you.
Thank you for volunteering to clean this room, Miss Annette. Most appreciated.
Don't worry about it. It's the least I can do to repay you for all you've taught me. It seems like a small payment, honestly. I wish I could do more.
In that case, I have nothing to worry about. Do make sure you get the bookshelf as well. Be thorough.
The bookshelf? But it's not even dusty.
Dirt always lurks in the places you can't see. Best of luck on your hunt.
Oh, okay. Leave it to me. Oh, there are a lot of rare books here.
Miss Annette, please stop jumping on the stool. You'll tumble down and crack your skull.
Huh? Whoa!
Miss Annette, are you all right? Can you stand?
Yes, I'm fine. Sorry.
What a blessing. Neither the books nor yourself came to any harm. Here, I'll help you clear them up. Oh, my. The inside of this bookshelf is quite filthy.
So dirt was lurking in the places we couldn't see, just like you said.
And we found it thanks to all the books falling. Every cloud has a dusty lining.
This dirt is really bothersome.
Agreed. Shall we endeavor to get rid of it together?
You can count on me.
Steady. Don't go leaping about in your enthusiasm.
Having allowed the Imperial Army to invade, the Alliance Army makes their last stand at the center of House Regan territory in Deirdre. The Kingdom Army rushes to their aid after amassing more troops.
The citizens of Deirdre have all been evacuated and are now at sea. Are you sure about this? If Deirdre were to fall, Those ships don't have enough resources for...
Deirdre won't fall. Have some faith in me, will you?
Oh, yes, sir.
Our line of defense has been broken. The Imperial Army will be here any moment.
Understood. You two join up with the troops in the city.
Yes, sir.
Judith, are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be. It's been years since I last battled in the city streets.
Don't go messing up because your vision is weakened with age. Take the defensive for now.
Yeah, I get it. You hang in there too, boy. Your wounds from Gronder Field haven't fully healed yet, have they?
No, but it's not like I can sit this one out. I have to make my daring escape after all. Yeah, for the last time, stop calling me boy. That's an official order from the leader of the Alliance.
Understood, Leader Man. I wonder if our little ray of hope will show up. We fought on opposite sides at Gronder, didn't we?
They'll come. You can count on it. If anyone can bring him back, it's Teach. Teach will talk and he'll listen. But more than anything, I've seen their skill and their abilities. I believe in them.
Claude, reinforcements are coming from the west. Their banner is that of the kingdom.
What did I tell you? They're here, and just in time.
It appears the Imperial Army has already marched into Deirdre and engaged the Alliance. It seems the Imperial advance has been stalled by guerrilla skirmishes. The Alliance forces are holding out, but they won't last much longer.
That must be Judith of House Daphne, who joined up with Claude's troops. To think Judith, a true hero, would find herself backed into a corner like this.
It is not so. The Alliance has only drawn the enemy so deeply into the city to allow us to attack them from behind. Brilliant. I believe so. He put his soldiers into position purely on the belief that we'd come. I can't believe Claude would risk everything on that belief. He has placed all of his hopes on us. Let's make sure we live up to his expectations, Professor. Here we go. Let's move!
The leader of the Alliance has managed to escape to the harbor, has he? Those rats resist in vain.
Your Excellency, there's an army closing in on us from outside. The banners are those of House Blaiddyd.
Blaiddyd? I see. That idiot failed, it seems. Hurry up and kill the leader of the Alliance. With him gone, Deirdre will fall.
I will not let Claude die.
Hey, you're late. Hurry up and help.
At your service.
Ready for anything.
I'd be honored.
What's the plan? Burn until we meet again. You're a big help. I was just stronger.
I've got you! I'm still here.
I'm counting on you. Let's make this quick.
What's my strategy?
Leave it to me.
Ready when you are. I'm your girl.
I'll cut through.
I am prepared.
Let's finish this!
You knew the odds.
Don't waste it. Let's go.
The subjugation of Deirdre is complete. We will be joining the main army now.
They're showing up one after another. Nothing for it but to blockade the gate leading to the town. I don't want the enemy's numbers to increase any.
It's no good. We're surrounded. But to get to the harbor, first we have to get rid of the enemy mercenary.
Look, the Imperial Army Supply Corps. Attacking now.
Weak. I am prepared.
Look.
A threat eliminated. The bet.
What's the plan? Burn until we meet again.
At your service.
I owe you one. Don't bother haunting.
I'd be honored.
Ready for anything.
It was the only way.
Thank you. That was a big help. I'll go and cover.
I'll cut through. What's my strategy?
Ready when you are.
Leave it to me.
I'm your girl. Let's make this quick.
Saw it coming. On my honor! I won't stop here. Growing.
It all comes down to this. Don't waste it.
This'll get him. All in his service.
More proof of my loyalty.
Pathetic. Appreciate it. This is the cost of war.
You're relentless.
Obvious. You knew the odds.
Thanks for that.
I'm sorry.
I'm...
Too slow. This battle is over. I swear it wasn't in vain.
You never let me down.
A threat eliminated.
Clever. I can't believe they pushed through to here. Nothing is more foolish than dying in vain. Let's get to the harbor.
I'm good now.
If I live, fight.
I'm your girl. Can't afford to lose. I'll protect.
Leave it to me. I won't be deterred! It is done.
What's the plan? I was just stronger.
Ready when you are. Next try. I can do no less. My duty is your death.
What's my strategy?
Your very presence has foiled our plans yet again.
Yes! Predictable. Allow me to demonstrate!
Do our hopes end here?
Uncle, I need to know. The incident 9 years ago. You were involved, weren't you? You know something. What did Cornelia... No. What did my stepmother do?
You are not qualified to look into the darkness. You and Edelgard. Do your best to kill each other. You are family, after all. There it is. The light.
He's dead. There goes our chance to gain more information. And again, even if we had managed to capture him alive, judging by the way he was acting...
Teach is absolutely right. We should take this rare opportunity to let off some tension.
It's been a long time, Claude. I'm glad to see that you're safe.
Same. I haven't seen you since the nightmare that was Gronder. You really did come to help us. You must be a bunch of soft-hearted suckers, huh?
If you really felt that way, you would not have set up a defensive battle in the hopes that we would come. It worked out only because we made it in time. Were you really so confident that we would answer the call?
Of course. I knew you wouldn't hesitate to put yourself second and come running to our aid. You and I are cut from different cloth. I wouldn't make a move unless I could gain something from it. You've always been just the opposite. And of course, I've always been fond of taking dangerous risks. After all, I sent that express messenger before you had even recaptured the kingdom capital. If all went to plan, I knew you'd recapture it soon, and then respond to our request for aid. It was riskier than usual, I'll give you that, but it was the only card I had to play, so I took the gamble.
You crossed too many dangerous bridges for my liking.
I know. But that ends today.
What do you mean?
Here, take this. Use it however you see fit.
The legendary bow, Failnaught. Isn't this the hero's relic of House Regan? Hold, Claude. This must be one of your jokes. You cannot truly intend to part with this.
It's not a joke. As of today, the Leicester Alliance is no more.
Just what are you planning, Claude?
If you're going to lead Fodlan, then the Alliance Lords will follow you. Back in the day, the Alliance split off from the Kingdom. I'm just putting us back together again. Oh, and I've already gained the support of the other Lords at the Roundtable Conference, so you can stop looking at me like I'm crazy. All that's left for me is to officially step down as the leader of the Alliance. I'm leaving Fodlan. There are things I have to do, dreams I need to see to fruition. That's why I became the Alliance leader to begin with, actually. But it left me no time for what I was really after. You'd better not take on too many responsibilities yourselves, or else you'll end up in the same boat. And remember, both the living and the dead cling to us without any regard for our own lives. It's up to us to break free of that weight and follow the path that we believe in.
Claude.
Oops. I almost forgot the most important thing. If you're looking for Rhea, apparently she's being held captive in the Imperial capital. It doesn't sound like they intend to kill her, but there's no telling what they're planning.
You have my gratitude, Claude.
Gratitude? Thanks, but no thanks. As far as I'm concerned, we're even now. I don't know how many years will pass until then, but let's promise to meet again. And when we do, don't be too hard on me, Your Kingliness.
Well, Dimitri, are you finally going to tell us the damn truth?
What are you talking about?
Didn't Lord Arundel say something about you and Edelgard being family?
To claim that the king and the emperor are related. Could it be?
Ah, I suppose I never told you, though I do recall mentioning it briefly to the professor. Lord Arundel spoke the truth. My stepmother was Edelgard's birth mother. Political turmoil drove my stepmother out of the Empire. Father fell in love with her at first sight, and they married. I lost my birth mother before I was old enough to remember her. My stepmother filled that role for me, but she lost her life in Dusker 9 years ago, along with Father.
Hang on. I didn't even know she was your stepmother. Did my father know about this?
Yes, all those who were close to my father knew, including Rodrigue. But to speak openly about it would have caused a scandal. And so she was our secret. No one in the general public knew about her. Naturally, the fact that Edelgard and I are step-siblings was kept a secret as well.
I'm finally beginning to understand what you went through 5 years ago. I mean, Edelgard is the only family you have left, isn't she? To find out someone so precious to you is actually your most hated enemy. How heartbreaking.
But wait! You two were born and raised in 2 different territories, right? So you probably never met until you were both at the academy. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think the idea of fighting family is just about the worst thing ever. But hopefully the fact that she's a stepsister who you never really knew helps with the pain? I don't know. It was just a thought.
I'm afraid that's not the case. Though it was only for a short time, Edelgard once called Ferdiad home. It was a long time ago, but she was a cherished friend of mine.
Wait! I remember now! She was that girl, wasn't she? The one you gave a dagger to. So, your little girlfriend was Edelgard.
Sylvain, if you have any more foolish things to say, please hold them for later.
I do have a few more in my sleeve, but they can wait. Go on, Your Highness. This is important for us to hear.
She may be a hated enemy now, but the Emperor is your old friend and your stepsister. Can you bring yourself to kill her?
I will kill her, if I must. But if there is any chance that the world she seeks to create could be a just one, then I would love to see a future in which I may reach out my hand for her and have her reach back. That said, I have no intention of letting my personal feelings cloud my judgment. Too much is at stake.
Your Highness, I think you should meet with the Emperor and at least try to talk to her. If there's any hope of ending this war without more bloodshed, we have to try. Besides, killing your own family, I'm sorry, but it's not right.
I think so too. And you are right that we should at least try.
I see. So my uncle's defeat is beyond doubt?
Yes, Your Majesty. I have confirmed it via countless channels. I advise that we accept this as a drop of joy amid a pool of sorrow.
Pretty words, but I'm afraid we can't rest until the joy outweighs the sorrow. And for that to happen, it now seems we must confront them all at once. Dimitri, who took back Ferdiad. Claude, who managed to protect the Alliance. And that professor, who is successfully mobilizing the Knights of Ceres.
What will you do, Your Majesty?
Pull back our forces. In the west to Arian Road. In the east to...
Fort Merceus, I presume. There is no better place for such a confrontation, after all.
Indeed. And dispatch the Death Knight to guard it. He can buy us some time. In the meantime, I will...
Forgive me, but I must speak bluntly. I do not agree with what you intend to do. Though slight, there is a chance that once done, it cannot be undone.
Even I cannot always choose the direction my path leads me. There is no other way. And so, I must walk on.
Part 2. Azure Moon. Blue Sea Moon. The Impregnable Fortress. When Claude steps down as its leader, the Leicester Alliance disbands, and its lords swear fealty to the Holy Kingdom of Fargus. The chaos in the kingdom begins to dissipate as the people unite under Dimitri's rule. Riding this momentum, the Kingdom Army prepares to march south for a decisive battle against Imperial forces.
Thanks.
We will finally have our decisive battle with the Empire this month.
The Eastern Lords are in the process of consolidating all of the troops within the entire kingdom. In addition, ever since Aryan Road's liberation, the Western Lords have been declaring their fealty, one after another.
Affairs within the kingdom have calmed down considerably, and we even managed to win over the Alliance.
Although it was a rough go at first, I'm starting to feel like we could actually win this.
That's true. Thinking back on it now, we've really come a long way.
We even have a lead as to where Rhea is located. It is as we predicted all along. If we are to rescue Rhea, then we must defeat the Emperor.
If we're going to march from the monastery to Inbar, then we'll have to cross the Great Bridge of Myrden again, right?
Yes, I believe so. As we have gained the Alliance's support, we should not have any trouble this time. After the bridge, we can cross Gronder Field and head south. And then we'll take Mercius, the so-called impregnable fortress that towers on the other side.
Fort Mercius, I know of it. They say it rivals even Aryan Road.
Count Burgles, the Empire's Minister of Military Affairs, once had troops stationed there. But according to our spies, a large-scale military force has entered the stronghold. Perhaps they are gathering soldiers from various regions to compensate for their losses.
It is unlike you to worry so. But I feel we have no choice but to strip that place of its impregnable reputation. Once we take Fort Mercius, Enbar will be within reach. This is the Empire's last chance to stop us from arriving at our goal.
In other words, if we take this fort, then our blades will be at the Emperor's throat in no time.
If this is the last fort between us and them, then the Emperor will likely do everything she can to strengthen its defenses.
I just received a report on that very subject. The one commanding the troops stationed at Fort Mercius is someone we have crossed blades with many times. It is the Death Knight who awaits us there.
Oh, so that's who we'll be battling. Emil.
Your Highness, missing the day's training? How unlike you!
I had intended to train, but this rain is unrelenting.
Yes, it's really coming down out there. Makes it hard to go outside, I suppose. It's pouring so hard, I can't help but feel poorly.
Yes. Quite.
Sorry, that one was pretty bad. I think this weather is putting a damper on my sense of humor.
At any rate, did you need me for something?
Ah, yes. You seem to have the time to spare, so would you help me organize our stock of weapons? You must know a thing or two about weapons, and I bet you're no slouch at physical labor.
Of course, I'd be happy to help. I was just hoping for a useful way to pass the time until the rain lets up.
I appreciate it. I don't know how I do it all on my own. You know, it's great that you're willing to help with this kind of thing. Some nobles are so self-important. You're a real go-getter, Your Highness. Or should I say, your spryness? Maybe that was disrespectful. If he's going to lop off my head, he'd better go ahead and do it. I can't bear the silence. Listen, Your Highness, that joke, I didn't mean to...
I just...
Huh?
oh my... I'm sorry, Eloise.
Wait, you mean you actually found it funny?
Oh goodness, not at all.
I see.
But when a joke is unfunny to a certain degree, it somehow comes full circle into hilarity.
That's not exactly what I was going for. Still, I don't think I've ever seen you laugh so loudly.
It's true. Laughter is not one of my strong suits. Eloise, perhaps you should focus your efforts on honing this comedic talent of yours.
This talent? Is that your way of saying I'm no good at telling jokes?
My apologies. I should refrain from commenting on the quality of your jokes. What's important is that they bring joy, right?
That does it. Next time I make you laugh, I'm gonna make you admit it was a good quality joke. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to cook up some top-notch rib ticklers.
Alois, what about organizing the weapons? Oh, he's gone, isn't he?
Chop the vegetables into bite-sized pieces. After that, skim the top layer off the pan. Be mindful of the heat.
Certainly, Chef to-do.
There is no need to call me that. Are you displeased?
No, not in the slightest. I just got momentarily sleepy. It happens to me from time to time. Let me see. First, chop the vegetables. Coming right up, Chef. Did you?
Good.
I am so bored. Day in and day out, it is nothing but dicing vegetables and waiting for water to boil. I want to feel like I am actually cooking. It is not as though I do not know the basics. He could at least let me hold the spatula sometime.
Next, we peel the vegetables.
Chef Dudu, I was hoping to speak with you regarding something that has been on my mind.
Speak.
Surely you have noticed my skill while wielding pans and knives. Therefore, I think it is time you taught me how to cook. Beyond all this water boiling and vegetable chopping business.
Impossible.
But why?
All must be done in the proper sequence. And the first step here, whether you like it or not, is to learn to use the tools perfectly.
Come now! You have seen how I use a ladle. You know I'm good for it. He has left me no option but to take matters into my own hands. Stubborn you may be, Chef Dudu, but I will show you the true meaning of delicious. Phew, that about wraps it up for today's training. No thanks to a certain distraction. Professor Hanneman, I know you're there. It's extremely unsettling the way you're always staring like that.
Oh, my apologies, child. I was trying to remain inconspicuous, not wanting to interrupt.
Your half-hearted attempt to hide your weird staring only makes it weirder.
Well, I must apologize. In the future, I shall do my staring out in the open.
That might ease the weirdness, but it will continue to be extremely unsettling.
I have no desire to disturb nor to disquiet you. But you are a most exquisite subject for my crest research. And you understand that the foundation of all research is observation.
I understand well enough, and I'll do my best to ignore it. But in return...
In return, I will keep your secret. I have not spoken a word of your twin crests, not even to the church. If they knew I was withholding such valuable information, I might be branded a traitor. But such matters are trivial compared to the future of Crestology.
Shh! Don't talk so loudly about it out here in the open.
Pardon my excitement. I simply cannot let the opportunity to study such a miraculous subject go to waste.
These awful crests may seem miraculous to you, but for me, they fall under the category of curse.
I hope one day you will share more about your tragic origins, whenever you have the time to recount it. Your tale may contain valuable information.
You are utterly lacking in empathy. You know that? Even if you've spent your entire life observing me, you'd never understand my feelings and all I've been through. Now, if you'll excuse me.
I fear I may have made a misstep. I have no desire to trouble her, yet my research...